What's up, friends? I don't know why I went there. We can go here. How we doing? It's time for some FACEIT League. We've got 2 games left in regular season here for Master Division, at least by default. Look at the schedule here. Let's just go ahead and bring it up. In fact, we'll start with our standings, as a matter of fact. Because NA Master has been an interesting one. You can see the majority of teams sitting at 13 games. Tanuki disbanded, and Tapire, coincidentally enough, is in control. Have played their 14th match already. Artemis are going to play Midori here tonight, and that's going to be a tough ask. It's a strong powerhouse of a squad. One of the few teams that kind of has the same level of synergy that Artemis brings to the table. I love a team, I mean, just kind of pulling together and sticking together and building off of a core season after season. And that is something we've seen with both of these squads. There's been small changes in mostly DPS, but not many changes at all for either of these rosters over the course of at least from 2025. For Artemis, that core goes back even further, back to season 2. So Artemis need to win this one against Midori and then play their sister squad in Ilios for their final match of the season tomorrow. They are, of course, going to be heavily hawking Boot Troops matches, which they play Uni Academy tomorrow. Obviously, that's going to be a very tough one for Boot Troop to take home. Uni very dangerous. And then play EDM here tonight. I say Artemis might need to win both, but really what they need to do is to have one more win on the board than Boot Troop. Boot Troop have the advantages. As of currently, looks like Boot Troop has the tiebreaker in some form. Also, I hadn't gotten Artemis on this season. I love this squad, kind of a squad built on synergy and teamwork. And somehow I've neglected to get him on the season. It was just a matter of circumstance more than anything, but we had to rectify that. I know it means I'm getting Midori on like twice in a row, and I've had Midori on a ton this season, frankly. Which, I love this squad too. I get very similar reasons. I mean, they made slight changes, bringing in Cabe this year, where I believe they had Sky Sniper last season. But, still same, Triplet Hero, Seaborn, Zac, Zaitu all have been around since this iteration of the roster was kind of formed. We are going to get Midori with first pick here. So Midori going Ilios with the Diva ban. So some big stakes on the line. We will have Midori return tomorrow for the Shikigami Showdown. Yeah, depending on how these matches go, Midori versus Shikigami could determine who gets our 8th seed. I do not tend to get the same team on back-to-back. I had to make an exception here. A lot of stakes on the line. And we're getting ready to head in Iliad. You can hear it loading up in the background. Let's double check that ban was a Genji ban from Artemis. Let's get into Ilios. Let's get into this match. 2 games left in the season. Lots on the line.
Ready for battle.
Okay, Mobutu is Amado. So they are in no pain here for map 1 for Artemis. Both teams showing us the hazard comps here right out of the gate, as a matter of fact. Both teams showing us the Symmetra. Are we getting Tracer switch? We are getting swaps to Tracer from both sides. Mirror composition. Start things off on Lighthouse. Both teams taking the fight right up to the top of the Lighthouse, right out of the gate. There was actually a mismatch, but Maverick ends up off the side, I think, trying to chase a kill. And small opening quickly sealed off as Hero is forced back down to the low ground. And what a crazy first fight. I don't know. That is one of the most unique. I don't think I've ever had the cameras sitting there with a fight on top of the Lighthouse. Both teams have picked up the Kiriko right out of the gate here. Player advantage to Artemis, if I'm watching my kill cam correctly, if I'm tracking my kill cam correctly. First cap will certainly go to Artemis. Of course, Tracer getting that enormous buff, being reverted back to her previous strength on Tuesday, and Mobutu taking full advantage, getting a quick dual win over Zac to control this left side. Now able to move in and just pressure out cooldowns from the front line. This means Hero's got to be very careful about sitting here. Wall is used just to seal off that Tracer, wait for reinforcements. Once again, we're going to see Zac fighting for alley side towards Cage. Keep an eye on here on this front line. Can be a huge source of damage here. Zac is able to win control. This means Direct access, going to start threatening the supports. Will force the swift step out of Mardo, and Seaborn takes advantage of that. Or Mardux, excuse me. I don't know why I pronounced it like I Cajuned it there. I've been watching X97. I don't know. I threw a bit of the old Gambit tone on that. Pulse Pop still available for both teams. We're starting to get more significant ults coming online. Most notably, look at the sound barriers. Duel here on the outside of Lighthouse. Duck is really extending themselves out to try to find that kill. Meanwhile, Hero finds an opening inside, taking the sound barrier off the table. They want to invest. It's going to be the Kitsune Rush coming out from Mardux. Hero getting run over. Jippin still holding on to that sound barrier. Industrial's going to go ahead and drop it. It gets 3, but it's not in time to save Maverick from the bolo shot out from Cabe. Still, Amadose able to clean up on the back of the fight. And it's messy. Mobutu wins out there with critical health. Gets the blink recall. Or the ghost melee, I suppose. Melee recall. Whatever I'm trying to say. Secures the kill. Increases the stagger. Buying more time. Sound barrier push works out. Cabe connecting with some key shots. Oh, we'll pick up a third there as they find the finish on Industrial. Little jump scare for Industrial. Quite literally. Yeah, jump scare. Yeah, Freya. Yeah. All right, there was one for free. Ooh, that was a hell of an attempt there from Zach. I respect it. Oh, and then Ducky turns around and lands the shot on the Cabe. Incredible dodge, then follow-up there out of Ducky. I was just sitting here enamored in the setup of that play. Nope, now pushing back on. Fortunately, losing Mobutu there. That does take a lot of this extra damage there in that fight. Maverick ends up falling. And that solidifies the point there from Midori. And despite the fantastic start to that fight from Quack, Ducky's never able to get the bolo shot into that fight. And the kill on the Tracer really ended up being a difference maker. You end up with Maverick kind of outmanned and mismatched in a 1v3 underneath. I mean, they weren't the only one left alive, just ended up kind of isolated from the rest of the team after the Tracer went down. I think there were 2 players. I think Duck and somebody else was on top. Maybe the Lucio even, maybe Industrial. I didn't quite see. But losing Amado / Mobutu late in that fight ended up being a huge difference maker. Simroll out for the Eraser. Hero, the only player making swaps heading into Ruins. Zach pushing bridge. Oh, was able to get a lot of penetration into the back line. This could be quite the threat, but takes a little too long to set up, and Mobutu's able to find triplet. Maverick jumps in to contest the last second. Hero had to kind of really put themselves out there to put some point pressure down and try to force the issue. Ends up just kind of getting themselves staggered out in the end. It's all right. We're going to lock in here. Don't you worry. Little fight up top, kind of ends up in a neutral, but Zach finding Industrial. Not ideal. Ooh, the boop off the side forces the recall out. Zach has an opportunity to chase Duds. Heroes there to intercept, and Amado goes down. Really nice read there out of Midori. Cave ends up coming to the kill just as the Kitsune Rush hits the battlefield. And it felt like an attempt to try to wrestle back control. Maverick fall, and means the Kitsune Rush is not going to get the value other than, perhaps buying a little bit more percentage. But certainly not going to win the fight. That also means you're running into a Kitsune Rush now with just the sound barrier to answer, giving Triplet the opportunity to beat second, find a little extra value out of that. Now, one X factor could be Duck's Bolo shot and find a good opener. One stick landed off the take aim. Has 3 bunched up. It's going to invest the Bolo. Lands it! Sound barrier comes down. There was just enough cover where Duck couldn't confirm the kills. Now Industrial is able to use second beat, and Seaborn's Kitsune Rush is starting to fade. This is not a bad situation here for Artemis, but they got to survive through the downpour. Maverick in a lot of trouble. Traded him for Triplet. It's still an advantage here for Midori in this 4v4. One that Zach is going to move in. Fine, Duck. Hero getting involved in those exit picks as well. 50% counting on the board. It's about even in percentage, though. Despite Midori, kind of one of those last couple fights, they've been fast, good decisive recontests coming in from Artemis. And once again, they're right back on the horse, wasting no time getting back into this thing. Now we're kind of offset on support ults, at least in the Kitsune Rushes. Be looking for Artemis to build that up. You see Marduk's holding on the right-hand side. Suzu's been used. Maverick needs to be careful. There's nothing to block the incoming damage, particularly from that Freya. And you've got Cade kind of unchecked on top of the high ground. This is going to be a Kitsune Rush thrown in down low. Suzu's back, and it has to be used there. The downpour, ends up going awry. Not quite sure what happened. Maybe a 180 out of Maverick to try to find something, but nevertheless, they get the kill. May have worked. Maybe I just saw it wrong. It looked like Maverick wanted to throw that back towards the point, and then it ended up flying away from them. But hey, you know what? You get picks on the back of it. You're able to intercept this point at 99%. We'll see if Artemis can hold on to it for another 50 and send us to a round 3. That's the rush out from Seaborn. Ooh. Cave hits the post on the Bolo shot, and Industrial's going to invest that sound barrier. Builds it a little faster than Triplet. Despite dropping it in second previously, but this advantage, well-timed beat out of Triplet, might just seal the deal. Midori storms forward, claims all the space in the world. You have one final desperate attempt. Amado actually holding on here, dances out into the corner. Oh, finally chased down. A valiant stall. And at the end of the day, Midori will take map 1.
Play of the
All right. 1-0 start. Felt like Artemis kept it pretty competitive. Midori kind of always had, it felt like they had their support ults at the right time. Felt like they also got a lot of value out of them. Artemis got value out of the majority of them. That, they're able to hold on to that later beat they force out kind of 2 support ults at once. That worked out really well for him in that fight. But, there was an early fight on Ruins where the Kitsune Rush ends up getting absolutely nothing. It was too late into the fight. We saw a sound barrier, something similar. It was just 1 or 2 from Artemis, but that was enough, I think, to be the difference maker. At least that really stood out to me on that map. Was just the consistent value Midori was getting from that back line. And then, you know, Cabe having a damn good map. I think Cabe had some probably highest damage up. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to guess who that is. Where the highest damage came from. We are going to get an unabandoned and a Dorado pick out of Artemis. We are also getting a side swap as they're going to go onto the attack. Trying to force it into a, you know, perhaps a Brig Juno or a Lucio Curie on Dorado. So trying to keep it into that hazard. You know, trying to avoid, I guess, a Winston comp or a Diva comp. Check out some stats there from map 1. Who do y'all think had most damage? Oh, it was actually Ducky. Despite the, you know, the clear impact on the scorecard, you know, like in the kill feed there from Cabe, Ducky has actually got most damage in the lobby, more than either of the tanks. If they can keep that up, I mean, Artemis is definitely gonna be a threat throughout this series. You keep enabling Duck to do Duck things. Mobutu, fight into those final blows necessary. Keeping Maverick alive through that, I think, is going to be key as well. I mean, Maverick having a couple additional deaths. I mean, that's just could be team fight losses, but it could also reset, right? By my eye test, by my memory, it felt like Maverick was taking a lot of pressure. I mean, look how much more damage mitigated this hazard has. Now, part of that is, I guess, a Risa as well, but there was a hazard swap though. Got me curious on that. I mean, it means you used block a lot more. It means you were taking a lot more damage during block as well. I don't think that's good. That's my point there. I don't think that's good. I think that's having to use block out of desperation and when you're just absorbing an enormous amount of damage as opposed to the value cycling that you'd like to get out of the hazard. You know, the leap and the wall and, you know, a little block to sustain and confirm kills. All right, let's get ready. Head into Dorado. What was that ban? Let me double check the ban out of Midori before we get in there. It's Tracer banned out from Midori. All right, let's head into map 2.
Ready for battle.
I'm still going to give you Preds. I don't care. I don't care if you use them or not. It's there. They're there if you want them. No big deal. It's just a good habit for me to stay in my rhythm, too. All right. Look at the defense here. We are going to play the Diva comp with the Brig and the BAP. Okay, so going to a little Brig BAP. Okay. You see me Twitter posting in my emo right now? I did not. I did not there. Oh, Zach with a 4. Zach with a 4. You gotta love it. Love the personality. Oh, I mean, a lot of personality on this Midori team. Gotta tell you. Gotta tell you. Okay, so far, look for Zach to kind of be a real cornerstone of the dive here. And when they choose to use their dash. Right now, we are going to just get a rotation back to courtyard here from the defense of Midori. Artemis able to take a little bit of high ground. Artemis gets forced down by a nice whip shot out of triplet, but industrial, I meant. Amino in the summer is an interesting little wrinkle in the plan. Something we haven't seen very often as of late. We're seeing a little bit more summer earlier in the season. I haven't seen as much. I don't think I've seen summer at all since the season 17 patch. Not able to escape here. Of course, I'm highlighting Amino in the Sombra. They get completely detected. Of course, Diva, one of the best at that. Zach Lowe has no reset, falling back. So the defense is just going to bide their time on this 5v4. Not looking to... Last thing defense wants to do is trade in this situation, so they're not making any aggressive moves. Zach trying to get in range, but gets hacked, forced out, has to dash backwards. It is a bolo shot from Gabe landing, and Amatrix has been used. So Midori falling back, but they're able to put out a couple of good shots along the disengage, and now Zach looking to close out this fight with the Dragon Blade. Kind of lost. Duck up top, just settling for a swing on the Maverick's block, and that is it. So, well, I was praising Midori for getting a lot of value out of their ultimates in map 1, but that was not what we just saw there. Rally in the back to try to hold this recontest, and an enormous bolo shot. Dawkins hit everyone. It was the downpour and the bolo shot combo. The bola pour? The down shot? No, I don't know. The bola pour. Wild combo. Flying spikes. Now this EMP is everything. Oop. Zach gets up to the top before the hack comes through, so they're not sitting there vulnerable. Check back on Mobutu for this setup. Working down low. Alright, forces triplet out. Able to go up top. There's the EMP. You're going to pick up Seaborn. That's exactly the target. Good jump in. Mobutu's going to claim it. Worthy sacrifice. You even find a D-Mech on the hero along the way. Great EMP engage out of Artemis. You lose only your Sombra. That is completely acceptable. The wall doesn't quite block. Oh, but it corrals. Maverick knows exactly where to place that crosshair to pick up the kill. I haven't seen the skin yet. Oh, is that the... Actually, I take that back. For a split second, I thought that was news. That is the Seraphim skin. I have seen that skin. Self-destruct forced on the point. Concerning a rush. Zach looking to hold it off. Gets industrial. You find the EMP. Or, excuse me, the sound barrier. Or what, you know, could have been a sound barrier. Ends up being a little bit of an overextension. So Maverick's able to trade. But the defense holds with less than a handful of meters remaining. It was looking worrisome for a moment, and Zach able to turn that around. Oh, Zach using all their cooldowns. Okay, yeah, having a dash. Oh, McCabe over the top! While everybody's looking down at the Genji, Cabe on the Freya puts up a two-piece in the feed. Glove. It's awesome seeing the huge Freya plays. You don't often see Bola Shot getting, you know, huge impact like what you've seen here on this map. It's been spectacular. Oh, I was trying to go to the Mobutu pop. Oh, well. Second sound barrier thrown in from Industrial. Duck doesn't get it. Zach's able to hunt down that kill. Maverick finds Seaborn on top, though. Hero trying to escape. It's getting a bit messy. But Midori are able, looks like, successfully disengage. Oh, Cabe doesn't get the memo. Got caught there in corridor, tried to hide on this side. And that's disastrous. I mean, you're stuck with just Genji DPS. You kind of need that Sojourn to get that initial burst of damage for Zach to find real value. When you try to make a move on the cart, is hold. The Immortality Field invested in that vein to keep Hero alive on this, and they find a kill on Mobutu, 99%. Oh no, Mobutu dying there is not good, but we get another multi-kill Bolo shot. And that's going to be Doc, our Seaborn connection. No misconnection here. And with 10 seconds to go, it's a second multi-kill Bolo shot from Doc to secure the cap. Add 90 seconds to the clock. Mabuchi picked early in the last fight. Hey, you know what? It means you got an EMP right now with 75 seconds to go that you'd have most likely invested to close out point B. Zach has been lights out with the blades, though. Oh, well, speaking of lights out's for Duck! And it's another big pick. This time going the other direction. We saw Cade picked early in the back of point B. Now has lone high ground control. Maverick is forced to just use the violent leap to get back into safety. This is going to buy up more time while they wait for cooldowns to set up. Mabuchi goes invisible, doing a bit of scouting, recognizing the 2-3 split and trying to decide where they want to go. Wanted to get the manual hack onto Zach, but couldn't secure it. This is also giving away their position. So now Hero is here just scouting like crazy. Mabuchi's in trouble with this EMP. You've got to get this in. Sound barrier has been thrown in. Zach goes down. Cut down out of the blade. Didn't even hear it get pulled. Kaba's got an OC into this fight. Mabuchi has held on to the EMP, but won't get a chance to use it. So, really, neither of those DPS ults getting value for their squads, and things are still a little messy here with 15 seconds to go. Mardix is able to tilt the balance. Hero's in trouble. Self-destructor trying to get back in mech. I don't think Maverick can get there. Maverick tried, just absorbed some damage. Perhaps get Industrial up to that next sound barrier. Duck gets another brilliant bolo shot. That speed, that is kiting, that is so much utility gone here in an OT push, and Maverick moves in for 2 on the back of a beautiful downpour, including getting a D-Mech and Hero. Artemis will get the cap. What a push. It didn't all go according to plan. But they get it done in the end. You know, sometimes it's not how good your plan A is, or even how well you can execute your plan A. It's how good is your plan B and your plan C. Huge plays there from Mardix. That Kitsune rush, and there was an equalizing pick, I believe, in that messy exchange that stood out to me. And then Maverick with a killer hazard downpour. Super clean 2-piece there at the end. Gets just the beautiful leap headshot combo. Crispy. Well played. Wait, oh, I haven't seen this, Maddie. I haven't seen this. My 80s childhood just, like, jumped out. What? I might have just turned 9 years old again. Oh, make an old man giddy. Next year, you tell me there's Ninja Turtles collab coming. I've got to go check this out as soon as this match is done. I mean, imagine we gotta be getting, that means we're getting a Snake Eyes Genji? Like, that's kind of rad. I mean, I'm just a guess. I guess you could also do, there's 2 ninjas, but I imagine we're getting a Snake Eyes Genji. You'd have to do a Snake Eyes Genji. Good shot from Doc. Fought triplet early here. And the sound barrier race has actually been pretty pivotal, it feels like, so far between these two. So an early pick on a triplet, you know, that extra little percentage might be a difference maker. An extra 5% each fight, at least. We'll see. We'll see if it comes back around. Nice. Got the virus in. I don't know if the manual hack landed, but it was enough damage. And great follow-up to find Cave. Maverick has secured the top of Red House, but Duck does fall. That is actually not... That's a pretty important kill. It's an enormous part of the pick potential here for the Artemis defense. And we'll see how they want to proceed. Yeah, they're kind of in just a heavy go in, look for trades, I think, was the call. Is Maverick trying... Are they going to get out? Good defensive wall, but they're still low on health. There was the amp. trying to speed away. Maverick is on the opposite side, still in a bit of trouble, trying to hold the back of stairs and get topped up on health. Duck has returned, has had incredible bolo shots throughout this map, has now got one loaded in the chamber. Can Sunday Rush coming at them? No. Duck is able to find Hero, but Zach finds two on the back of the rush. Where's this fight going? Right onto the point. There's that bolo shot. Doesn't look like this one landed. Sound barrier in play from Triplet. Chicken expecting a downpour in return. Too strong. Mavericks biding their time on this flank. There's the sound barrier engaged. That hits everybody. Well timed. Mabudu's able to find one. Zach trades it. Downpour comes in. Doesn't quite catch the blade. Would have been ideal. And that blade just might be the difference, the damage necessary here to whittle this down. Die on cart cold there. I don't know why I said that twice, but you get the point. 3:48 on the clock for Midori, pushing into the streets of Dorado. I hope so, Phoenix. I hope so. Oh! Seaborn got stuck in a bad spot. That was just a cooldown mismanagement. Ends up too close. Didn't have the swift step to get out, apparently. Obviously, we didn't quite see their cooldown. I didn't see if the swift step was used. But that's an incredible little assassination mission there from the defense of Artemis. And, I mean, still Midori is trying to continue to put pressure on this top corner, even sans Kiriko. Seaborn should be about back by now and is close to a rush, but Marduk has theirs ready to go. Is going to throw it out immediately. Bolo shot over the top from Cave, but sits back on the other side of the wall. Maverick was just standing at the top like a statue. What a jagged wall! That would put Zach between a rock and a spiky place. They're waiting for Aqua to release for Ninja Turtles. They have an easy Donatello. Oh, since he has a stat. You know what? That's actually big brain. It's actually big brain. Widow Baroness, Reapers, Cobra Commander. Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's pretty rad. Reaper's Cobra Commander is pretty rad. I might have liked to seen Sigma as Cobra Commander, to be honest. Like, do you just do Sigma all dark and because he's kind of tall and menacing, right? Sigma has an imposing character frame. Anyway, I gotta lock in. We have an important team fight here with less than 2 minutes to go. Ult's coming online, including both sound barriers already available. Good push off the high ground. Puts Midori in an interesting spot. They have no high ground control, but they have a pretty good cart push. And two heroes present on it. Zach's gonna dash up. There's the blade. Industrial's able to put it on the sound barrier. And into getting the better value. Babutu finds Triplet there on the back of it. I believe it was a beat blade engage, and a well-timed sound barrier from Industrial's able to kind of negate both ultimates. Mabutu finding some rhythm. Earning up to the blade for this next fight with there'll be less than 60 seconds by the time this fight happens. Yeah, Ninja Turtles is an easy-ass dunk of a collab. You just gotta do this. You gotta do the skins right. Like, I mean, that's tricky to get those skins right. Hero leaping up top. Keep an eye on Cave with his bolo shot. Does have good position here to fire shots down range. Hence the wall being invested just to block Cave's sightlines. Kitsune rush fight now incoming. Off the high ground. We're going to get Cave and Midori investing first. Picking up Mabutu. I didn't even hear the blade come out before Cave shut it down. We're going to be in OT, and Duck with another massive bolo shot. Down in the fight. Artemis is able to strike back threefold. Zach's still alive and kicking, but it's the last one standing here from Midori. And we're going to get Artemis tying up this series. Oh, we got a game on our hands. What an important map 2 victory. Well thought out, inspired picks and bans out of Artemis to force the situation into exactly what they wanted. They got what they wanted, and they execute. I mean, again, it doesn't look like Plan A went perfectly according to plan, but they find it, they dig deep, and they get it done. What a big map pick up there from Iliad Artemis. Down 0-2 is a hell of a lot different from being tied 1-1. That's such an important map in any 5-map series. What a big play there from Artemis. And now, with that said, Midori will obviously get the advantage of picks and bans here to kick things off, and it's a Runasapi choice to go into map 3. Kiriko ban in for Midori. Let's take a look at some stats. If they were doing a Ninja Turtles one, I would love to see like a huge collab like they did with Street Fighter. Maverick 40-1. I said Maverick needed to die less. Maverick freaking heard me. Oh my. Gold damage as well. Not to mention Goldie limbs. Maybe we'll get that Kiriko ban plugged. Oh, what side were they starting on? Oh, I guess we'll find that out. I think Midori were attacking, if I saw that correctly. Let's go check it was an Orisa ban in from Artemis. All right, everybody's here. Let's get ready for map 3.
Ready for battle.
So banning out the Orisa, Maverick looks to keep it going. We are seeing a little bit being shown a little change in the backline for both teams, as a matter of fact. We saw a little bit of the big bap there from Midori in the last map. They are going to a Lucio bap, but we're getting the Lucio Juno here from Mardix and Artemis. Ah, no! That did not do what I wanted it to, sorry. What an aggressive push. Maverick and Artemis just chase down Triplet, immediately dive across, and cut off Triplet before they're able to make a clean rotation out towards coastline. This immediately is going to prompt it to disengage. You just took away all the mobility, or it feels like took away a lot of mobility out of the cast Ramatra that Midori's trying to run here. So they're just going to fall back to corner. Maverick and Artemis found a lot of success in Ramatra comps in the past. They know this composition well. They know it wants to play so and set up and whittle you down. And you see Maverick not taking the bait on this, not trying to get too aggressive, just sitting and poking from the outside, playing patient, waits out the Nemesis form. Now the push in, Maverick dives across. Got a decent amount of damage in, and it opened up enough room for Duck to find Seaborn. The primary source of healing is gone. Mobutu able to get a dash on the Cabe. Second fight. Coming up all Artemis here. Even gonna use a speed ring, try to pursue Triplet. Mobutu picks it up. Full stack up into the window, force hero down. Ooh, that card's very close. We do get a touch there from Industrial, but Seaborn with an Amp Matrix there from the opposite side flips the map. And they deny the touch. A beautiful Amp Matrix there puts Artemis in a difficult spot. Sorry, it was from there, so I didn't quite flip I didn't flip the map. That was my brain flipping things. But still, well-placed Ant Matrix. And the rest is absolutely true. Denying Cat, also importantly. Now, without ducking the fight, we're going to give Mobutu trying to dash in with the Dragon Blade. Both sound barriers were invested, and Mobutu's able to fight Seaborn through it still. Dash it away, make sure they don't trade out. Artemis do return. Intercept this bot here, basically right at the mid-map. Overwatch thrown in on the front line, in from Marduk's. Maverick is holding up top. It's Mobutu who's able to push through on this. Flip it away. Oop, they catch a blink from Zach. Oh, and are able to assist in a little bit of a mismatch to keep Zach from getting out in one piece. Serendipitous timing there on the peel from Maverick. Well done. Or just heads up play. I mean, that may be taken away a little bit there from the awareness of Maverick. I mean, it was a really good jump. I mean, just as far as the intercept catch Zach, this has bought some space. Now the returns. Duck is going to throw in this bolo shot. You force out the immortality field, and looks like everybody's able to scamper away, but Cave somehow gets caught by Maverick through that exchange. Maverick is pushed in deep. Will catch at least one of that downpour, securing and killing the Seaborn and Hero. Artemis are looking amazing so far this last 60 seconds. This has been textbook. Two backing up. And the Hero trying to pursue. So a lot of cooldowns used there from Artemis. And they're still trying to hold up top. Vulnerable for a moment. So in that moment, we're going to see Midori try to push the bot back towards the center. Maverick still has some high ground, but Cade has got to get out right on this corner. Looking for any targets. This is going to buy a lot of space and make things even more awkward. This is splitting Artemis apart even more. Pulling at him like string cheese. Ram trying to pursue. Triplet is here, speeding him along the way. But Maverick, as well as who was that with them, able to catch up. I think it was Mobutu. Blade into this, but Triplet has the sound barrier. Layered on top, Duck is going to throw in the bolo shot. Still, it's Mobutu who falls. Seaborn now with an Ant Matrix. Oh, but the retaliation, the orbital thrown in first. Artemis more decisive there in the late half of this fight with her support ult, and it's gonna get them the win. Zach dropping in that 3 seconds is up. Yeah, you missed your high ground. Able to blink back into safety, covered by a vortex. Heroes popping the Nemesis form as well. Is going to just layer this right into an annihilation, I'd imagine. The Matrix does come out from Seaborn, but a really good distance. Oh, I say that. Actually, Mobutu does not disengage as cleanly as the other four. Maverick leaping, trying to get back. That's a dangerous move. And Hero has yet to pop this ultimate. So now just Maverick's going to use the root more defensively, it feels like, than anything. Zach has managed to return on this Tracer. Giving chase to the Juno. That'll find Marduk's. And Zach helping to give Midori their first real, I'd say, significant fight win here, where they're able to actually get some real progress. Artemis is looking real good, Warden. Triplet falling a little behind on the sound barrier. But Midori want to get this checkpoint, so they're kind of at a crossroads. They are going to, well, just kind of stand down in the middle and get pounced on. Triplet goes down. Ajax is the sound barrier. I did not see that hit the ground. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, the shielding was not enough. Here he tries to invest the Annihilation for added sustain, but it feels very late. What a play to find that sound barrier. I believe it was Duck who got that. Oh, how did Hero get over there? Hero comes in from behind to pick up a kill on a Quack. This is a 2v2. This is a 2-2 split. But Cave comes over the top. Sandwiches in Mobutu. And where it looks like Midori were in a really bad spot, Cave comes in, finds a pair. Oh, Mobutu gets nothing. Doesn't even finish the voice line. Cave's got you on lock. And that's checkpoint here for Midori. Downpour. Bowler shot ready to go. Still 60 meters for Midori to cover. Oh, is that window control gone? Yeah, Zach was he with these highly aggressive position getting way behind the defense or behind the supports. The team looking to hold the line right now, right? Kind of feels like Artemis are defending this choke at the moment. Oh, Duck gets yanked down by a well-placed Vortex. Has not had the opportunity to invest this yet. He's going to go ahead, jumps up. Once the back line doesn't like what they see. Ends up throwing down the bolo shot, kind of a desperation to hold Hero in place and leap out. And the sound barrier is there. Well timed from Industrial, and Maverick's able to find Triplet with it. Triplet not building up toward their next one. 5v4. If Artemis don't trade out, they've got a good chance of going up 2-1. And, well, Duck has delivered the extra kills. Maverick is there to close them out. 3 in a row for Maverick. And Artemis put a back-to-back fight wins to take the 2-1 lead. Well played. Well played from Artemis. It's quite the victory pose. Let me get the Cave Deadeye. Yes, indeedy. It looks so good, too. The Cave Deadeye looks so good. You know, you were starting to really get some things rolling in your favor. So Midori will get yet another map pick, try to find a way to overcome the incredible hazard that is Maverick. It's going to be Suravasa. Oh, big stretch. Okay. This is an important map for Artemis. They have a really, really strong chance of solidifying their spot here in Master Division for Season 6 with a win here on Suravasa or wherever we end up on Map 5. Midori fighting to get their head above this 8-win table and make sure they can secure a spot in playoffs. Yeah, the BAP Lucio definitely looked to be... The BAP was getting run over a little bit, Star. You're not wrong. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. The BAP was getting run over a little bit. Very valid. Freya banned out here from Midori. Let's go look at some stats. Maverick felt pretty dominant in Map 3 as well, as it reflected in the stat card. I mean, doesn't have the overwhelming amount of damage that we saw in Map 2. But does, once again, have fewest deaths, which was what I was highlighting in Map 1 as being such an important factor. And quite the turnaround that we saw in Ilios. Does also have gold elims for the second map in a row. I don't know why. I just throw a heart up. Okay, we're going to Suravasa. I owe you a ban. We talked about the Freya ban. But I still owe you a ban from Artemis. It was a brick. Once again, I think just trying to force their hazard game. And you can see why. I mean, until an answer is figured out here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initial flashpoint. Mark it.
Okay, interesting. How Doom affects this first fight is kind of fascinating. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of place for Doom to stage. And you see he's having to pull all the way back there. They took a lot of early poke damage trying to engage alongside that Pharah. But Duck picks up the Pharah. Seafull still running away looking for safety. With Mobutu on the Sombra, though, there's just no solace to be found. A little bit of a delay on the cap there from the triplet Mora. But this has got wild. Zach's going to go over to a Freya. Oh, yeah, Freya. A May now with Freya banned out. So we have had K move into the Tracer role. Good push out of Marduk. Swift step out. Mobutu gets caught. And this wild kind of pounce on your composition. Meg, Tracer, Doomfist, Moira carry composition. Was able to find a little bit of success, but couldn't hold on to it. They eventually just kind of lose control. And it does feel a little like the heroes in this comp have different objectives. Just the May. Like, the May is such an integral part, it feels like, of any May comp. And it just fits so oddly into this composition. I can't even understand the Moira, like, trying to dive in with Seafull. And harassment and be able to kind of survive in a push and pull. Kitsune rush from both sides out front. The wall does not block that rush. Good tip there from Zach, though. Now, coming into the old fight could be a problem, but Duck has already picked up a kill on the seaboard. EMP now finds Cabe, Zach as well. Feels like Artemis have everything they need to close out this fight. Now, this oddity of a Midori composition does still work kind of broken, and you can see how survivable they are. They're able to kind of cycle in and out, buy time for reinforcements. So Artemis haven't cleaned this up yet. The more time it takes them to find kills, the more they're going to lose control. Flip goes over there to Midori. There was a blizzard invested somewhere in that. I think it was during EMP. I don't even know if the blizzard made it out to me. I didn't see a blizzard hit the battlefield, y'all. Did that get canceled by EMP or something? I did not see it hit the battlefield. I might have just missed it. These fights have been so all over the place. Now, it looks like all of Midori were fighting from the same side for the first time in a while. They had lost Seafull, kind of tried to huddle up, and this gives Artemis an opportunity to kind of pounce on this corner and focus all of their pressure down onto the squishies. They'll find the picks necessary to clean this up and take the 1-0.
Next, flashpoint, temple.
No, Midori plays Shikigami tomorrow, virtual. That I believe it could determine that last playoff spot. There's a couple of factors at play. There's 5 teams currently sitting at 8 and 6. Is that right? Yes, 8 and 5. There's 5 teams sitting at 8 and 5. So it kind of depends on a couple of different factors. But Shikigami versus Midori tomorrow, the Shikigami showdown could determine who gets the playoff slot. EMP coming in over the top. Nope. No, I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. You know, just fake it, move it to the back, find Seaboard, hit 2, but Seafull finds Marnix with that meteor strike. Still the EMPs enough. It's pretty even, or it was. More Seafull pop. All right, how do you set up to hold this choke in this Doomfist cup? I mean, Zach on a venture here. There's a lot of forward to back movement, and you're gonna try to catch the rotation. Ooh. Doesn't mark Duck though. Duck puts in at least a little bit of poke. They just kind of threw Seafull off their plan here. Seafull ends up just retreating back to the point. Seafull cycles back in. Continuing rush. Invested here from Artemis. Seafull doesn't want to play with that. Ends up just moving back to the top high side. An isolated Zach. Ooh, able to escape the pulse bomb. All of Artemis tried to move in, and the Venture is still low. Eventually, that is going to be Industrial with the pick. Very close to the Sound Bear. Doesn't really anything work. Can kind of throw this in at will. A very low Seafull will not survive through their block. And the Sound Barrier is not needed here for Artemis. Reset call. 39% and counting on the board for Iliad. That's Industrial Sound Barrier coming in. Seafull dropped the meteor strike in the corner, but you've already got Marduk's. Fight and Seaboard on the other side. Down 30% in the Kitsune Rush. Not only did you take out a bulk of the, or a lot of the healing, but you also are going to enable Artemis to catch up in this Kitsune Rush fight. 99%. Seafull's trying to touch literally 17 health. Mobutu's going to invest this overclock. Once again, it's, you know, the strange composition of Midori can't all reconvene very quickly. It's exactly what we've seen on the point, using double support ults to make it happen. Marnix hasn't quite caught up, and everybody's able to survive, and now that rush is able to come back in. 95%, this needs to be fast. Industrial circuit around to the front. We do have a touch. Marnix can invest that Kitsune Rush from the opposite side. That's a good stick. Cade finds Mobutu. And Zach will drill through Marnix to put Midori right back tied up here on Suravasa. It is a ruined spawn. You see the fast-moving Seafull and Midori trying to set up to see if they can get a little bit of a defender's advantage here. Meaning they want to decide where to take this fight, not let Artemis have that choice. Seafull kind of getting muscled off this high ground, not really able to get, looks like a very secured engagement. In fact, still in a bit of trouble, not able to back out from that. Looks like trying to control that space ends up being Seafull's folly. But it is equalized. Still, I think you take the Soj. Oh, not after that, though. That's both of your DPS down if you're Artemis. You'll get first cap. Let's see how long you can hold on to it. Yeah, the answer is going to be not long. Mobutu returning on a Sombra here. Oh, Maverick sacrificing their mech just for more percentage. Then we will get Industrial diving in with the stall. Actually, I said not long. That was pretty nice stall there on Artemis. They, they kind of sneak out an extra 15% on that. Manual hack is the end of Seaful. Well done out of Mobutu. Once again, trying to get very aggressive, and it's well read and punished there from Artemis. Cape looking on the backside. This pulse could be dangerous. Industrial cornered. Getting hounded. All guns are pointed at the Lucio, and the sound barrier is gone. Zach instantaneously, simultaneously, throwing in the tectonic shock. Doing maximum damage while removing the sustain option. And clinical fight win there from Midori. Love that spark spray. That's from actually being at... Oh yeah, Anaheim Great. Oh my god, Industrial. How did that not get like Doom Punched or like Drill Dash? Like, yeah, I was so lucky. You know they intended to like clip the roof. Like, I mean, you had to, right? You were trying to clip the roof and missed. Oh man, here comes the clap back. Pulse wasn't land, but land in the thick of everything. Seaful's Meteor Strike might just secure this 2-1 lead on Suravasa. It's a bit filthy. It's a bit messy. But I think it's just the way Seaful and Midori are going to like it. The punch in. There's the cap. Oh! That punch, did that keep Maverick off of the point and knocked him into the corner there so that it denied the contest? We're still looking for exit picks here. Or just, battling our demons. There's a little bit of a duel going on between your two flex DPS and Cabe. Cabe drawing everybody away, and Seaful trying to come in and hit him from the other side. Midori's in 3 to point. Yeah, you still have both DPS harassing in the hallway and able to find a kill on a Mobutu in this transition. An awkward rotation for both teams onto the point. I think intentionally caused there, so it would appear. But with that said, it's 3v3 left. No seaboard on this point means Maverick is going to get aggressive. First cap already here. EMP invested, unsurprisingly, from Mobutu to try to secure this 3v3. You weren't able to get Seaful, but you are able to find Zach. Seaful's going to head up into the sky. Squishy's returning, but Seaful does not make it back on that regroup. You see all the Squishies kind of back up into that room. Tectonic shock. Oh, immediately shut down. Maverick was having none of it. Can't defense matrix. I'll just kill you. Have some rockets. What's happening in here, Heekin? Oh, I mean, a good match. Man, this composition from Midori. They got beat past couple maps and decided to go weird. Said, you know what? Let's show them something weird. Sound barrier. Whoop, that's a wall. Let's get a coalescence palm. We don't get very many coal palms on this stream. Alright, well, that's about how much it did. Push in onto a low triplet. They're able to fade out, but Seaful ends up in the kill feed instead. Maverick gets one with the self-destruct. And we are headed to Palace for this 5th and final flashpoint. Now, Maverick is waiting on a respawn, so it's just the 4 squishies here. Meaning Artemis, yeah, trying to get away. Or need to. Oh, that was close. The Suzu used to get Mobutu out as well. There was quite a few cooldowns just to get Mobutu to safety and complete this rotation. Expect Seaful and the rest to come in, attack quickly if they don't get Pulse Bomb along the way. What an intercept from Doc to pick up Zac in that rotation. EMP to secure a kill on a Seaful, I don't mind it. I mean, Seaful just runs out onto the point to try to deny a cap, and I can understand trying to stop the cap, but that's such a risky endeavor, such an expensive endeavor, that I actually don't mind the EMP at all to confirm this. Look at how much space Artemis is able to grab on the back of that one ultimate. All right, one by one, Midori kind of getting their players in position to create a horseshoe here on this choke. Cabe on the left, Seaful on the right. Marduk's caught between them both. That's a Kitsune rush as well in the pocket. Industrial suffers a similar fate. What a move from Seaful. Seaful's got 4. Maybe 3. Still. Actually, I think it was 4. I was just about to say, and with just Seaful winning that into neutral, they have so many ultimates coming into this. Good fight win with just a tectonic shock right out of the gate. Consumer ready to fight could be dangerous. Soundbarrier's going to go to get a message from Industrial first. Marduk's holding on to the rush. Triplet with another Cole. Kind of cutting across, having to divide their attention between healing and damage. Consumer's now invested from both of our squads. Mobutu's able to find 1. This could be final fight for the map. Self-destruct out, and let's get the team back up to high ground. That leaves a big mismatch on the point. Oh, it's come back in here. Sorry, that was a bad palm. Seaful's able to find Mobutu. That's such a massive pick. The EMP could have swung this fight. As it stands, it's a 99% on the board from Midori. Try to force a map 5 with K picking up Doc. It means there's no DPS anywhere close to this fight. It's going to be a desperate hold with nothing in the old bank for Artemis to work with. Just trying to dance and survive. Mobutu has returned. EMP is ready. Hits Seaborn. Hits Zac. Trying to confirm a kill, but Seaful is there with the peel. Finds Marduk as well. Ends up being a 2-for-1. And Seaful's Doomfist dominating Palace. Swinging back Suravasa here from Midori. We're headed to map 5. Ewan, thank you for the raid. Oh, that is the new diva there. That's cool. Oh, I got cut up watching the play of the game. I didn't get the point on the board. Artemis get map pick for the first time since Dorado on map 2. Whew, we've got ourselves a banger here, friends. We have got ourselves a banger. And even this is the answer. This is the answer to the craziness that we had seen from Artemis. They forced the Doom. They managed to get Maverick off of that hazard, but it takes a wild string cheese composition to make it happen. So we get Oasis out of Artemis. We're going back to control. Okay. It did not favor them on Ilios, but perhaps all roads lead to everything is Oasis, according to Coach Cass. Baptiste ban here. We're also getting a side swap. Let's go check some stats. Everything is Oasis, according to Coach Cass. Amplify up 1-0 versus EDM. The world is saved. Let's go. Let's go. Been a VC with Crazy Cat and Gap all day. They didn't tell you they had a 10p in match. I was wondering, honestly, when you said that they were up 1-0, I was like, I'm surprised you're not streaming that, Ewan. Like, that was the first thing that entered my brain. That was the first thing that entered my brain. Hey, if they don't mind me hopping in halfway through, I don't know how long that match is going to go, but I could potentially hop over to that one. But it would require like a little last minute, like, well, you know, maybe we can kind of bounce in, see, you know, I don't know. Let's see. Let's. Oh, what a close Suravasa. What a close Suravasa. Able to keep Maverick, you know, a lot more contained. I mean, still 35 Ilios. It's tied with Cave this time around, though, and Cave outdamaged all of Artemis, and still, Seafull outdamages everyone with the Doomfist. 16k on a Doomfist on Suravasa. 27-10, but you know, I mean, that's kind of this feels kind of par for the course for this composition they were running. All right, we're getting into Oasis. All right, we are back in the hazard comps. Back in the Lucio carry. Oh, Zach sticking with the Venture is kind of the big difference that we're seeing here between our, you know, kind of opening couple maps into this mirror on the hazards, or relative mirror. Not working out. You don't have that poke pressure. Duck is just free reign on this Freya. It's just not gonna feel, I don't think, hardly any duress at all. Or at least has the opportunity to kind of get up and away. So we do see Zach go over to a Genji here, where you can kind of cover that aerial threat and get up and challenge that high ground, where Venture just really struggles to do there. You have to spend a lot of cooldowns to make it happen. And then you have nothing to actually take the duel. Hero stayed in the middle of the point. Was able to put a little bit of pressure in. It was a great disengage. We saw a little push and pull there from the back line of Artemis. Good Suzu saves Maverick, but they can't quite get out with that jump. Has been traded, and Moji wants to trade some more. Random screenshot to lock in. Sound barriers invested in from both sides. Even without their tank, Artemis still so dangerous. Marduk's with a huge pair of kills in a clutch fight. Pushing them closer and closer towards 99%. Zion, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right. Pretty even in ultimates. I mean, there's the pulse bomb to worry about. I mean, you've got the Ebola shot on the other side, so kind of even there. Zach's blade could be the difference maker here. We'll see if their team survive the Kitsune rushes first. Downpour thrown in is going to catch Hero. Zach trying to just get up to safety. No cooldowns. Drops down. Marduk and Mobutu here gotten just so much work done. Look at all the assists from that Kitsune rush. Everybody finding value on that. And an enormous rush downpour combo from Artemis, and we're not even gonna get a touch. Maverick body blocks the door, and it's a swift 100-0 for Iliad Artemis to start off this map 5.
Ready for battle.
We are trying to match the fray this time around. Such an interesting fight. Such an interesting map. I have such a new appreciation for University after our coaching session yesterday. I was just kind of watching the rotations there, noticing the Quillen using the push and pull. The initial fight for high ground, and that high ground plays a very different role here. With both teams playing the hazards. This map plays very differently. Obviously, you can... Just interesting. I was curious, and what I was noticing was how much differently it plays than it does versus like the Arisa comps because of all the high ground and capability here. Now, it does also put your tracer positioning is super important. So it's a full rotation. All 5 from Midori move up to take this high ground away. This force is, just kind of a clockwise around the map, excuse me. But Artemis don't want to hold in that hallway. They're going to continue, and they go back up to the high ground, and the Docido continues around this map while both teams pull up ultimates. Now, with the point presence, that means Midori has gotten control of this objective. Oh, what a blitzkrieg attack. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. I had to get some water there. Well, man, in the meantime, it was, blink and you miss it. Kitsune rush, pulse bomb, ambush. Well played there from Artemis, and a clean fight win on that one. Kitsune rush advantage. Swift step in. Downpour. Kitsune rush thrown in. Industrial gets that beat down. So all of these somebody are laying just as the Kuno were about to. Maverick surviving with the block. Can't get out. Great wall. Heroes sealed the fate of Maverick and subsequently the entirety of of Artemis in this fight. Comes up with 2 nice little picks there at the end. We get a flip. We're going to downpour to work with from Midori to try to keep this percentage going. 1 fight win here could make things really interesting, and particularly if Artemis are able to get control before the fight's cleaned up. Duck with an opening pick does not bode well. Hero tried to counter with the downpour. Didn't see anybody calling it. As I say that, Maverick looks out of position. Hero with the block up, shrugging off the bolo shot. And Duck is going to get killed late. So, successful fight from Midori. There was a little bit of a flip in there, wasn't there? They didn't have 92, did they? Did they flip that? What the? Twin Benjamin, thank you for the follow. Great name. That's fun to say. Both pulse bombs available. Really looking at Marduk's with this Kitsune rush. These rushes have been so instrumental. It says, let's go, Quevster. Yeah. Quevster is going to muscle through Hero with some help from Maverick. Kitsune rush early there from Marduk does, in fact, lead into a first kill and an important one at that. Pulse bomb used as Maverick goes leaping right into the hole to find the Mega. Oh no! Well, here comes Triplet and K with a 2-piece counter. This is not what Artemis had in mind. This is going to give up control of the point. Maverick is able to safely back away. Duck is returning on the Genji. The Quevster truly living up to the name here, at least hoping to. Industrial with the sound barrier is going to go and invest it in, hits all 5. 99-97 on the point. Triplet has the answer. Fight into the corner. Hero onto a Morga. Could be a lot of sustain. They've got that cardiac arrest going, or cardiac overdrive going. Still, it's not enough health. Downpour coming in. Point in control of Artemis at the moment. Excuse me, Midori. But they're running out of players. Duck and Quack trying to hit him top. Cave just evens the odds. Cave and Zack still on this point. They're going to leap back down. Triplet is 1. Mobutu gets the recall force. Is going to jump down, try to follow, but that gets them off the point. And we're headed to a round 3. It's City Center to determine the series. Artemis really want to secure Artemis's Master Division slot, potentially on the line here. They will have one more shot. It's not their only shot to secure it. But they do. This is a big one. Midori's playoffs hope, potentially, in the balance. Same scenario. Not the last chance, but second to it. Penultimate chance. And just as we saw on screen from Maverick, classic full skunk game, map 5, 1-1. Opening, take aim, lands on the cave there from Quevster. Duck continues to try to hold his high ground. Despite, look like overwhelming odds coming through. More players up top, and Maverick gets taken down there in that mismatch. Yeah, I mean, there's no promises on the AMP game. They've made exceptions for me before, but that's also typically been in certain circumstances. So, you know, that may not be happening, especially with this one going as long as it is. I certainly can't promise anything. They have made exceptions for me in particular circumstances in the past, but that does not mean anything. I wasn't trying to sound too big for my britches earlier. Let me dial that down a notch. Triplet just gets ambushed. What a jump. Maverick makes the read. Triplet was trying to get out of that little hallway. Maverick completely put him back with the violent leap. Hero jumps away over the wall. And his Artemis secured control of stairs. You know, Hero is not only holding on to this point, but gets a kill on Mobutu as the Kitsune Rush comes in to try to flip this fight on its head. And man, I think it succeeds. We're given chase. Wall blocks, denies some healing, but there's a Kitsune Rush on the other side. Where's Duck able to set up a Mrs. Kitsune Rush on the wrong side of the tracks, unfortunately for them. The kill is traded. Artemis, hang on. Industrial with the sound barrier advantage. Slow push. Industrial has never Ajax in the history of ever. Doesn't happen. I'm quoting Kaori. Don't blame me if this one goes south. Ooh, good shots there from Quevster. That's Triplet down early. Trying to respond to the Bolo shot. Maverick is low. Backing away up to the top. Is going to throw down a kind of a defensive downpour. Is only able to catch Hero in that, but is hoping to go find Seaboard and will hunt them down. The Industrial Sound Barrier was important in that kill, but the later Sound Barrier from Triplet will leverage a fight win. Artemis will match the percentage, but will lose control of the point as Cade wins out an aerial duel over Quack. Mobutu's still going to buy some percentage. This is a 2v2 on the point. Now, I mean, it's against a hazard, so it's pretty overwhelming odds. But Mobutu able to set her install while Marduk safely escapes to the reinforcements that just show up. Artemis are suddenly 5 strong and still in control. This was a brilliant hold, a brilliant stall there from Mobutu and Marduk to kind of tap in and out. But now you're facing a Seaborn Kitsune Rush, and Marduk is still 25% away. Seaborn head into the high ground. Where's the rest of Artemis? Maverick is low. Too much damage. Hero's able to leap over to Marduk and pick up that kill. But that brilliant stall will get the point to 99%. We're headed to a 99-99 final fight. The Marduk's Kitsune Rush. Wasn't available last fight. Now could be a blessing in disguise in the last fight for the series. Oh, where's Mobutu getting in? Mobutu looking for that pulse. Pushing in over the top. Downpour catches him as they're trying to find it. And Triplet gets the kill. The Consider rushes out, though. And Marnix is able to get one from the high ground. That's double healing moving in onto Maverick. And this is Artemis with a great position. Beautiful Suzu. Oh, what a predictive Suzu against the Pulse Bomb. That was insane. Now Mobutu returning into this fight. Artemis have control over the point. And Marnix has delivered a massive advantage. Still, heroes low, saved by Isuzu. Plenty of reinforcements here from Midori to speak of, but they've got to keep their tank alive. Ducky is able to find the kill. No take in this fight. Soundbayer invested from Triplet. Ooh, what a read. Catches Cabe. That's going to do it in celebratory fashion. Artemis win the 3-2. One of the most spectacular matches of the season. Maverick calling the bull skunk buff. Oh, wow. What a game. What a game. That was something else. That was something else. Spectacular. Sensational. All of the 4-syllable S words I can think of that mean amazing. Wow, let's go get some stats. I was just kind of watching back towards that final. Like, I was just so enthralled. I just started watching the delay just to see that again. That was so good. That was so good. That last map was as dead even as you like on the stat card, but look at Industrial. Industrial with some massive survival skills has fewest deaths in that lobby by a long shot. But really, at the end of the day, I mean, it feels like the team fights are pretty darn even. Maybe one extra team fight in there or so. I mean, that's probably just clean disengages. It's not so much more team fight wins, but really nice disengages on those losses from Artemis, so they're able to very quickly counterpunch and continue to put pressure back in. What do y'all see? What stands out to y'all on this? Wow, what a match. That's, I mean, how about a breath? I'm mind blown. What more do you want? Artemis take the dub. That was a banger. That was a banger. $78.5K. Go to Ducky. Quester believing in their team. I mean, in 5 others. Quester full believing. Main character Quester. I got to give Maverick player of the match, though. I mean, Quester's an all-star. An all-star in my mind and should be in yours. But I've got to give player of the match to Maverick. Maverick's hazard was core to the strategies of exactly what Artemis were wanting to do and what Midori had to fight against, had to find an answer to. It seemed to come back down to Maverick's hazard every time. I mean, there was some outstanding play across the board on both sides. You don't have this banger of a match without everybody just firing on all cylinders. I'm not saying it was a perfect match. I'm not saying there weren't mistakes, but damn, that was good.